Dave, last night you had hinted at you were looking into some changes potentially with the lineup, just with how you either adjusted the top of the order, moving Will Smith up, or even having Alex Call in there. What do you just kind of like about these guys and how the hope is to get something going offensively early in this one tonight?
I think that was kind of the thought. Obviously, getting Alex in there, I felt that at the bottom, just the at-bat quality, seeing pitches, the potential to get somebody on base for Shohei at the top. I feel good with Kike in center field and Alex's defense in left. And then as far as Mookie and Will, I just feel like that's the best way to win the game tonight. And so both players were alerted and both players are all on board. So that was a decision I made.
We'll go to Jack on your left.
How much with the Will Mookie switch is trying to provide some more protection behind Shohei too and force them to maybe pitch to him a little bit more?
Yeah, I think just like I said, Jack, it's just whatever I felt is the best chance to win today.
And then with Mookie, what have you been seeing from him the last couple of weeks? Has it looked more like, with just some of the contact and the pop-ups, kind of like some of the stuff he was struggling with earlier this year? Have you been okay with his approach? Kind of what have you guys seen out of him?
I think there's a little bit of, there's some mechanics. There's they're making good pitches. He's working hard to kind of clean some things up. Yesterday he lined the ball, but Clement was there on the line, got a base hit. And so for me, there's some mechanical things, but, right now all that matters is just going out there and, taking 4 or 5 good at-bats. And so all I'm concerned about is tonight, and I know that's all what's on Mookie's mind too.
Move up a few rows for Sonia.
Dave, during the regular season, you were kind of reluctant to move Mookie down in the order, and this is obviously a different situation, but kind of why now?
Well, I think that, when you're I think in the postseason, you got to be a little bit more reactive than the regular season. And when I netted out, the value of what I feel gives us the best chance to win today, that was a decision I made. And I think that's why, like I said, at some point, you got to be a little bit more proactive than I normally would.
And you also had mentioned the possibility of Miggy getting a start. Is the reason there just Tommy's ankle not being quite ready? Tommy's
ankle not being all the way there, which he could do it, which he did in whichever game it was, game 3. But also, I just feel like Alex, versus Yasevich, I think he's going to take some really good at-bats.
We'll stay there with Fabian.
Yeah, Dave, you said that you liked overall the approach against Savage last time around. Like, what does need to change maybe in those at-bat qualities when you sort of have those runners on base like you did against him in Game 1 and even yesterday?
Well, I think at-bat quality is not just pitches. It's hitting mistakes. And so I do think that the first time through, the at-bat quality was good as far as kind of gathering information, but I think in total, 2 times through the order, there were a lot of pitches that we missed. And so that kind of takes away from bat quality, and that's the second time through. So we've seen them, we're prepared, and then so now it's kind of 9 guys coming together, being ready to hunt mistakes. And when you get a mistake, then be ready to do something with it, and continue to fight. But it's not just Shohei, it's not Freddie, it's all, collective. 9 guys got to do their jobs.
With that, do you feel like some guys maybe are trying too much to try to join Shohei and Freddie and being contributors in the lineup and maybe pressing a little bit?
I hope not, but if you see some of the chase that we've had, which is uncharacteristic, that speaks to that. But I hope that's not the case because, we have a talented group of hitters and we got to kind of hunt our pitches, our lanes, and avoid that uncharacteristic chase down below.
The second row on your left, Jim.
Skipper Jim Hill, KKL 9 News. Because you've been here and done that, does that make you even more relaxed?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. I'm relaxed, but I'm focused, anxious to get going. But I think that's a part of it, with the experience that we've had and I've had, yeah.
We'll move up to Ron right in front.
Have some of the things that you guys have done, like giving Clayton and Freddie lockers for their kids and stalls in the locker room, create the type of family atmosphere that's helped encourage free agents and other players to come here?
Yeah, I think Andrew said it best, trying to make Los Angeles, the Dodgers, a destination place. And, where players want to come and play. And, you got to convince the wives and feel comfortable with the kids around at times. And I think we do as good a job as anybody just trying to make people feel welcome and be themselves. So, yeah, that's definitely part of the calculus.
Barry in the second row on your right.
Hey, Doc. Do you think that the intentional walk has outlived its usefulness? Should like the other night, pitcher, if you want to walk around somebody like they did with Ohtani in the last at-bat, feel free. But, I mean, this free pass down to first base, 12 pitches were eliminated because of that. And I think the game wouldn't have gone 18 innings if it wasn't for those walks. I mean, you went through it with Barry and watched it when you played. Now you're managing Ohtani. You're taking the bat out of the hands of one of the greatest players in the game.
Yeah, I understand that. And obviously, for me on the bias side, I would probably say I wish we could outlaw that because it would benefit the Dodgers. But I think in totality, it's still a strategy, and it's not applicable to every team that's not the Dodgers, right? So I think that it's just hard to make a rule and be so affected by the World Series and not pitching to Shohei. So yeah, I'm trying to be non-biased, but I do think there's some strategy to it, though, Bear.
Yeah, there is. And, obviously Barry walked 900 times intentionally. So, I think people are paying to see these guys hit, not walk. That's kind of my stance on it.
That's fair. It's a fair take.
We'll go one row behind Barry.
Nice, Barry.
Hey, Doc. Regarding being proactive, at this point, do you add anything to what you've done, and is there such a thing as overthinking it?
There is such a thing as overthinking it. I'm more of the mind to bet on my guys and bet on them to play good baseball and win 2 more games. So that's where I'm at. But with that, yeah, you got to make decisions with enough information, and I feel that I've done that today.
We'll stay in the same row, Doc.
Hey, Doc. Max reminded us of the mantra last night that every game is a one-game series and all you had to do is win this one game. But that being said, and this being your final home game of this series, how much bigger is this one game?
It's huge. It's a 3-game series. As someone said, it's a 3-game series, and to win that first one is big. And obviously it's at home. They're all big games. And so, coming off losing last night, I'm going to leave it out there. Our players are going to leave it all out there to win tonight. And then whatever happens, we're going to pick up the pieces and get on a plane to Toronto. So they're all big to me.
On the back right corner, Andy.
Hey, Dave. Where does Shohei fit into your pitching plans for the rest of this series?
I haven't talked to Shohei yet, but obviously he won't be available tonight. We'll see where he comes in, beyond that, but I haven't had that conversation. But certainly when you're talking about Game 6, potential Game 7 of the World Series, all hands on deck. So we'll see where that goes.
I would assume you would want to incorporate him into that if he can go.
If he can go, if it makes sense, certainly he would be an option.
Up front on your left, Doc.
Dave, after Game 1, Blake Snell said he didn't have his fastball command. His changeup wasn't as effective as he'd like it to be. Do you think that's a byproduct of the longer layoff between the CS and that Game 1 start? And now that he's back on normal rest, do you think it'll be more effective tonight?
I think that it's easy to expect him to be markedly better than he was in Game 1. And so I do think that he'll never make an excuse for that layoff, and that's just the circumstance we were in. But, yeah, I expect him to be much better with the fastball and the changeup today.
We'll finish up in the first row on your right.
Hey there, Maury from the Roz and Mocha Show. I'm sure that you really wanted to win the World Series here in LA. Does it upset you that no matter what, the World Series will be won in Toronto, Canada?
Not at all. Not at all. I think ultimately it's to win the World Series, and regardless of where it happens.
All right, Doc, I know you got to go. Thanks
All
for
right,
your
thanks,
time.
guys.
Appreciate it.